What is going on YouTube? It's Eric. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be working on this Nissan 350Z here. More specifically, we're going to be doing spark plugs, so let's get to it. So if you got a VQ35 DE engine or a VQ35 rev up, then this video will apply to you. So usually the first thing you want to do after you pop the hood is you'd want to take the strut bar out, but obviously I already have the strut bar out. You know, there's four 14mm nuts, as well as that one on that side as well. And then you pretty much just gotta undo these clips. One little trick I like to do is you want to grab this 10mm wrench, and won't work for this side, but on the other side pretty much just put it in between here, and then it'll help you pull it out, and that way you don't have to, like, you know, cut them out or break them or whatever. Next we're going to be working on the driver's side. So the first thing you want to take out is the intake. So go ahead and loosen that with the 10mm is up here. I'm going to go ahead and just use that like a flathead or 8mm for that. 10mm out as well. Give yourself a little bit of clearance. Pull that out, and then you should be able to pull out this side here as well. You just move this to the side, and don't forget there is a little hose down here, so just be careful with that. You can either take this out or set it to the side. Probably grab some pliers for that. Go ahead and do that. There we go. So basically just wiggle it out. Sometimes you have to fight it a little bit. But yeah, she came out, so we good. Alright, once you got the whole driver's side clear, next with an extension and a 10mm, just go ahead and undo these two bolts. So one that's right here. There should be another one back here. That way it can help free up this harness, and you can let it float. So now you can see it kind of floats. There you go. Usually I try to put this back where it goes, that way you don't mix them. Next we're going to go ahead and undo the sensor here. So basically with some panel clip pliers, just be gentle with it. Just help wiggle it out, just like that. Makes life so much easier. These things are amazing. But you got to be gentle with them because you don't want to break the connector either, but so much easier than just using your hands. Once you did that, just do the same process, free up the other ones. Go. So once you got all the connectors off, I'm going to go ahead and undo the ignition coils. They're all 10mm. See them right there. Number 3 here, it's in a little weird spot. So I kind of just have to move a harness, you know, play with it a little bit, and then find that third one there. Just be careful, don't drop these bolts in the engine bay. It's never fun. Once you got that, you can go ahead and just pop these coils out. To here, number 3. 3 is a little finicky how you grab it. Kind of just, there you go, finagle it out of there. Once you got everything set up, you're going to want to use something like a 16mm, or if you have a spark plug socket, that works too. And just go ahead and start breaking them loose. So that one was not that tight on there, to be honest. That one's also pretty loose on there too. Alright, let's see how the third one is. Yeah. Just be careful with the little harness here. Yeah, those weren't that tight at all. That felt very, very, very loose. Like literally no effort whatsoever. Alright, so I only do this when I'm loosening, just to run them down. Once they're already broken loose, you just run them down with the drill, just like that. Once you know that they're run down, go ahead and do the next one. There you go. Third one, just like that. Yeah, once they're completely loose, just go ahead and use a magnet. Just fish it in there and fish those puppies out. Okay, that that one doesn't want to come. What the hell? Oh, there's stuff on there. I want to say grease. Well, that's not fun. So for some reason, I'm not getting any results with the magnet. Well, I kind of know why, because there's like, I guess, dielectric grease on top of the spark plug. So we're going to be using some hose clamp pliers. Now this will definitely work to fish it out. At least I'm making progress grabbing it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that baby's caked in oil. Oof. There's one. 2. There we go. And then 3. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to use some brake cleaner, spray this, and then we're going to pretty much wrap it around our pliers and just clean inside of there, get any extra oil out of there. That way when we put the new spark plugs in, it's all nice and clean. So let's get to it. I'll twist them on there. Go, get some of that oil out. Perfect. We're gonna go ahead and grab our new spark plugs. Basically, you grab the spark plug like this, make sure the threaded side goes in, and then this is out for your ignition coil. So just literally just drop them in there. So 1, 2, and 3. Next, you just want to go ahead and hand tighten them until they're snug. So just like that. Once it's snug, go ahead and move on to the next one. Once you get them in, you're just going to want to go ahead and torque them down. Torque specs will be set onto the screen. Just want to make sure you never over tighten these guys. If not, you're going to have a bad day. Just like that. Doesn't have to be that tight. Like that. Perfect. Sweet. There you go. Right, once you get the spark plugs torqued down, the next thing you want to use is go ahead and put these ignition coils in. So go ahead and just start setting them up. This one right here. Just make sure it goes all the way in. Perfect. Grab the next one here, same thing. Go ahead and set these up. And of course we'll just zip them down so these don't get too tight, just literally snug, and that's it. They don't need to be over tightened. So I set it to the 1 position. Like that. Like that. And this one here too. That. That's all you need to do. They don't need to be cranked on there like the Hulk. They just go on there snug, and that's it. I do apologize for the wind, so I'll do my best to work around when there's no wind. That way you guys can see clearly. So basically, we're just going to pretty much clear up this whole space enough to where we can comfortably take off the ignition coils out and the spark plugs out. First thing we're going to do is undo this hose here, just pull it out of the way to the side since this one completely blocks this coil. So we're just going to go ahead and just grab it. And since I got hose clamp pliers, I might as well just use them. Just be careful, don't do it too tight. There we go. Away. Just like that. And we'll just set this guy up top. We don't forget. So now you got space for that coil. Next, we're just going to get this intake hose out of the way. Might not need to, in all honesty, but I'm just doing it just so I have as much space and I can work as comfortably as possible. So there's that. Just got to be careful with these hoses because they do dry rot over time, and you just want to be careful when you're pulling them out. Perfect. I want to keep moving this around just so I can work. Okay. Pliers. I'm just going to wiggle this guy out. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and just start freeing up the harness. 2. Oh, forgot to put it back to the highest setting. Careful, don't drop your bolts. Lose them in the gulag. get this guy out. What am I doing? I have a magnet. Just like that, magnet. I'm just gonna put that guy back where it goes. We keep track of them. You take that bolt out, and it seems like there's one missing here. Here too. This bracket should just come off like that. Yeah, put that guy back in there. Yeah, once you have the harness loose enough, you can kind of wiggle around. That way you have space to take off these coils. This side's a little more pain in the butt, but at least now it'll be a little bit easier. I think you want to take this bracket out too if you can. That'll help free it up probably a little bit more too and get this sensor out of the way. Put that back in there. Loosen this guy first. I'll let you move it. That way you can pop loose. I just want to pop this one out too. Perfect. Oh, but I still got it. There we go. Sweet. Got all the connectors loose. Go ahead and zip these off. That's two. There you go. Once you get all the bolts out, go ahead and just start pulling these coils out. So there's that. This side's a little bit more tricky to pull these out. Finagled. That one's not that bad. Nope, she cleared. She cleared, guys. That one was kind of easier than the middle one. Perfect. Next, same thing as the other side. Grab your 16 with the extension. Go ahead and just line these up and start breaking them loose. This one was somewhat tighter. Next, grab your impact with another extension. Make sure it's loosening. There you go. So there's one, there's two, and then there's three. Oof, three. Same thing, you just want to clean it up in there as way. Clean all that oil. Some of it out. Anything's better than nothing. Perfect. Forgot to show you guys, I already put the other tool in there. I just dropped them in, so we're going to drop in the third one. So again, just make sure the threads go in first. But once they're in, just go ahead and just make sure it goes in straight. Hand tighten them down until it's snug. There we go. In here. Perfect. Third one. Okay. Just go ahead and torque them down. So again, torque specs will be on the screen. That way you guys know. Make sure to use a torque wrench. Don't do what I'm doing. I've just been doing this for a long time, so you just kind of get a feel of it. Yeah. So again, you never want to over tighten them. There we go. That's good enough. And notice how I have my hand. I don't have it on the end of this ratchet just because this ratchet is a lot longer, more leverage, and you might accidentally over tighten it. So there we go. We'll go ahead and set these guys up, finagle it in there. This one went in. Perfect. The middle one, middle one went in easier than it came out. It's funny. So I kind of forgot to mention you guys about the spark plugs. Ones that we put in, they're TRQs. They're by 1A Auto. One thing you gotta look out for, what type of spark plugs you're putting in. So these ones are iridium spark plugs. So in case you didn't know, iridium spark plugs, you pretty much don't have to gap them at all, because if you try gapping them, the little piece at the end of the spark plug will break. You don't want that, so pretty much no need to worry about gapping these spark plugs. Next, we'll go ahead and start putting our bolts in. So this one, I'm going to put it in the magnet just because it's a very awkward spot. I can't fit my hand in there, so I'll turn it and kind of just grab it again like that. There you go. Same thing with the other ones if you need to. This magnet's not expensive either. It's like $3 from Harbor Freight. Make your life a lot easier with this job, I'll tell you that much. This guy again. go. And this time I'm gonna just put this one on the socket, and I'll just kind of hold it to the end right there. Usually you can put like a piece of paper inside the socket or like a thin rag or whatever, and then it'll hold the bolt inside the socket. It's a nice little trick to do. Set it to the 1. These do not need to be tight whatsoever. They just need to be snug, just like that. No more. If you do any more of that, it's already too tight. Perfect. Next one. They literally just got to go in snug. That's it. You don't have to worry about anything else. Go ahead and set up our connectors. Sweet. Seeing everything where they need to go. So next one here. I'm not going to tighten them all yet. I'm just going to start them. That way I still have some room to tighten these down. Stick our hoses in. Kind of want to grab this that way we don't put extra pressure on that hose just because it is a brittle hose. Like that. Pretty much get it in there. Perfect. Just go ahead and set up your hose clamps where they need to go. Sweet. This bracket's back in. Go ahead and tighten everything down. Like that. One thing I like to grab for these rubber hoses is also use some silicone lubricant in case they're a little hard to kind of go in on the outer and a little bit in the inner. That way they kind of just go in easily. Pretty much. This guy goes in here. Look at that, just slides in there. This up on the other side. There you go. Perfect. Grab your pliers. Just put them on the end right there. Put it back where it needs to go. That way you're good. Pretty much golden from there. Once when you're done all that, just make sure to double check all your work. Make sure you didn't miss anything. Move around. Just stick your fingers in some places. Don't take it the wrong way. But yeah, just make sure everything's good. You didn't miss anything. Before you forget, which I still need to come back to this side and put the intake back on, so we're going to move on to that. So same thing again, kind of just want to spray silicone, a rubber, that way it makes it easier. Hit it just like that, kind of just clean the outers of it. We're going to go ahead and get this intake back on. The hose goes in like that, so I usually start with the hose first. She's on there. Don't forget some pliers. Many times you kind of have to do it in a weird spot. Sweet. Set up our intake. I usually like to do this first. Make sure the bottom piece goes in. Put this guy in as well. And just kind of make sure it goes in all around. Sweet. And pretty much how you can tell, you just kind of put your fingers like that under it. Make sure you feel it, that it fully went around. Do a full circle. Once you do that, just go ahead and tighten everything down. Perfect. That's good. This guy up here too. Perfect. Once she's snug, just give her a good tug. Ah, that rhymed. Snug and tug. Make sure you're pretty much good to go. So after this, you pretty much put the cover back on and put the good old strut brace. And that's pretty much it for today's video. If you liked what you've seen today, definitely consider hitting that like button. If you want to see more of this type of content in the future, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and hit that noti bell. That way you're notified on future videos. And we'll see you guys next time. Take care.